Alright, that love part. Okay, I want to talk again about this N word again. I've said it before, and I don't really care. Honestly, I don't care what other people say or want to say, what words they want to use. I don't care. I believe in free speech. I do. A lot of times I say, you can't, you shouldn't say, that's my, I'll say it like, someone else keeps stating. That's just my opinion, Every time people jump all over people when they're giving their opinion and they're stating it as if it's fact. It's opinion. It's strongly opinionated and it's voiced. But it doesn't mean you have to go do anything I say you have to do. You don't have to do. If I tell you to jump off a bridge, you don't have to go do that shit, And I wouldn't recommend anybody to do that. If somebody came to me and said felt like they wanted to commit suicide, I wouldn't tell them it was okay. I wouldn't encourage it, especially if they had children. But anyway, I wanted to talk about my friend Dr. Wickstrom. Okay. Yesterday I was talking about this. I made this experiment with the chicken meat. And I was acting like it was a ritual or something, pretending. It was a gag kind of, and it was an experiment and a parable all mixed in. Excuse me. Anyway, the chicken, right? I said I hated chickens. Okay, so it was. I'm commending Dr. Wickstrom, and even his gay son that had to play with dreidels, okay? Because his son came out of the closet from that household. He must have been really brave, okay? And I tell people I give credit where credit's due. And so, if anything, you raised a brave gay kid, okay? But because I imagine in your household it would have been probably hard for anybody to tell anything that went against your values. But I'm not trying to sound pro-homosexual either, okay, or pro-gay, whatever you call it, because homosexual is a misnomer type thing anyway, too. This is about the N-word use of the Nazi. I'm tired of hearing it. Oh, by the way, I do commend you. You did not make a chicken, son, even if you used gay dreidel spinner. You did make, but what you did make was a brave person who wasn't a chicken. But I don't want to eat. I'm not into eating that. He's not the kind of chicken I want to eat. He's not the kind of meat I'm looking for. But and I won't be inviting him over to dinner. But you gotta. Have you addressed this? Have you even spoken about this, Arcodius? Dr. Wickstrom, have you talked about this to anyone? Obviously your followers has known that your son was gay, or knows it. What do you do with that kind of idea? Hide it, or ignore it? I know you hate it. Or do you think he's just demon-possessed, or what? According to your own self. I wanted to note that before I continued. What did you think of your own son? You think he's possessed by demons? Is it in his DNA? Or is it his choice? Was it choice? Because they say they're born that way. They never say it's a choice. And I like to think sometimes, for some people, I think it's both. Or it could be either. But that's a whole nother thing. But I'm here to talk about that N-word, the Nazi, okay? No one will take this seriously. It was created as a derogatory term by a Jew, okay? as a term. National Socialist should not be using or endearing this word, because you're doing the same thing the niggers did. And there, how do you like that now? I used it real easily, the N-word, and I don't promote it. What I'm trying to do is use it. This is an example. So when I say use it just as loosely as someone would use Nazi, I'm trying to point out, make it a point, and to get people's attention. Okay, it's a scream, it's a shout of fire, you know, in the theater. You know what I'm saying? It's to get people awake and alert. And let's stop being hypocrites. But does it really bother me if you call me nuts? No, it doesn't. But it does when it's not necessary. When it really isn't not necessary. Because, I mean, hell, it bothered way less than if you called me a nigger. If you called me a nigger, it may piss me off, you know, a little bit more. Just because I like to use it towards people that I think are, that I can't stand, and I'm disgusted by the ignorance of them. That's what I think of, you know. And most stereotypically, that fits the category with the black people that are the majority of you real niggas out there. All right, and I ain't trying to be mean. I ain't trying to cause chaos or a war with anyone out there. I said this because I am trying to point out the hypocrisy and educate the masses on these words. If they want to start the politically correct Babylon shit, we got to use this shit back. Okay? You got to use their weapons sometimes, even if we don't want to. We don't like them, or we don't like the surroundings, our fighting surroundings. Okay, what surroundings we find ourselves in when we're fighting. Okay, we might not like it. We might not like the terrain we're in when we have to fight. We might not be trained in certain terrain. Okay, to operate in, but we need to start learning. Because we got to preserve ourselves. We got to preserve ourselves, because we're going to be not many left of us if we don't start waking up. So these words we got to use back, and we got to refer back to the original. Nazis, derogatory. I don't want to be called it. I think anyone slinging that word around ought to be just as bad as using nigger, just as easily. Because I don't think that word should be loosely used on anyone, either one of them. See, either one of them. And yeah, I'm guilty of using it. How many white people that are your average? You know, because I'm pretty actually average for a white person, honestly. I'm just the one that's being honest. That's all. I'm just being honest. There's a lot of them that just state their own opinion and they don't speak it out as opinionated as me in public. There's a lot of whites that hide behind and probably watch some of these videos and they cheer me in their mind on, you know, but they won't speak up. They're too afraid to, because the world has taught them to be guilty or ashamed of being white or talking right. And that is a shame. We've been pushed into this politically correct box along with Hillary Clinton, and I don't want to be stuck in that, you know. So since we are, the only way to defend is to rebound it back. So Nazi, I do not want to hear that. I don't want to hear Nazi. I don't want to hear sexist. I don't want to hear anti-Semitic. I don't think they should be allowed. They're words that were invented, created by Jews to control speech. I had somebody come on and they didn't want to subscribe to my channel, which I don't care if you subscribe or not, because it's not about, for me, it's really not about like the, you know, getting as many as I can to subscribe. It's about reaching as many people as I can as possible. And if you subscribe, then I can communicate faster, because I like to communicate with the videos, and just I'll talk through these, you know, and then if I need to, you know, I'll get on and give some replies, and I look at some replies, but I stay away from that because I don't care about replies. Not that they're all negative, or not that I don't care what people are saying, but I'm just avoiding them because I'm staying busy with all the other stuff, just moving ahead. I don't mind, you know, checking them once in a while, but for me, it's just about getting the message out, and then I don't care what you do with it. You know, if you got a serious problem, address me. Address me. What, you know, it's easy to find me on the online, so address me with a video, please. If you really want to get a hold of me, address me with a video, and put it on YouTube or share it on Google Plus or something like that. Okay, it's very easy to do. So with that said, I am going to try to look at all these words, and we're going to try to work together, hopefully, you know. But that one guy, he was a big white cat, I think his name was. Hey man, you know, I'm all for free speech too. Sometimes it looks like I'm really telling people what to do and how, you know, that's just a strongly opinionated, voiced honesty. That's not I never telling nobody what to do. You live how you want to live. I believe in that. So if you didn't want to subscribe, I understand, and like I said, go ahead. Like I said, I'm not trying to control anybody. What I'm trying to do, make friends, influence people, and try to make a difference and change within my own community of the very few whites that are actually real whites that are left and haven't sold out to the politically correct. And I don't want politically correct people to lead the country. So that's the only reason why I would recommend Trump. But like I said before, they're all snakes. Let's just hope he's a king snake.